guys, so we're about to start the process. We're gonna just be using this bucket that my dad got me. Thanks, Ruby. I asked him for a bucket and he bought it for me. I'm going to spray my frontal, okay, immensely with this Got to Be Free spray, and I'm doing that so that way I can prevent as much as I can the amount of dye that gets on my lace. And I'm gonna try really hard not to super dip my hair. I'll probably just do a voiceover from here on out so that way I can concentrate, because I do not want to ruin this, ladies and gentlemen. I do not. All right, I'll see you in a little bit. All right, guys, so here you just see me using my Got to Be Free spray. Now listen, I am being very, very intense with this. Like, I just felt like there could be not enough on my lace, because I really did not want to get any dye on my lace, and I feel like this was a good step. Next, you see me pouring in some warm water. I'm actually using it for my sink. I didn't boil any water, and that is just because it gets really hot, but it also was like warm, and I think that also helped with not getting any dye on my lace. Just using the Adore Jet Black dye. You can use whatever dye you want. That's just what I could find in the beauty supply store before everything shut down. So here you see me trying to avoid getting any of the actual dye on the lace. I thought I could just kind of like gently dip the roots of the hair, but it wasn't working. Eventually I ended up just dunking the whole wig. I was like, listen, if I get dye on the lace, I'll try to figure out how to take it off, because I had watched a few videos on using apple cider vinegar to remove dye from your lace. So I had a backup plan. I was ready to go. I'm just using some 2-in-1 Head and Shoulder conditioner shampoo mix just to do my first little wash. It just gets the job done. I don't like to use too many products when I'm doing my wigs, just because I don't want to waste too much. It's just unnecessary. Alright guys, so now we're going to bleach our frontal. If you can, get blue bleach powder, because the bleaching powder when it's blue is a whole different level of fabulousness. Like, it really helps get rid of that orange brassy color. Well, not get rid of it, but it helps prevent it from being too orange and brassy. Oh, I watched this video and I can't remember his name, but he is awesome at doing hair on here as well. And he used a spoon to apply it. And let me tell you, this changed my life. Anytime I use the regular brush, I always mess up my frontal and I had to go back in with dye and redo the, like, touch up the roots. But the spoon, wow, it slathered it on beautifully. Alright, so now I'm just going to use my purple shampoo and conditioner, especially on the actual frontal, to get rid of any extra brassy tones, and that really helped a lot as well. Also saw that on YouTube. Great idea. Follow it. All right, guys, we've made it to the plucking stage. I don't know nothing about plucking, okay? All I knew is that this hairline was way too thick and I had to get rid of some of the hair. So that's literally all that I was doing. I pulled back the front layer that was already pretty much plucked by the company, and then I just went in and just plucked. I wasn't trying to like follow my own natural hairline or do anything fancy like that. I'm literally just trying to make it look a little bit thinner. So you'll see me like trying to comb out a lot of stuff, and I'm just trying to figure it out, y'all. I am not a pro. If you mess up, just have some brown eyeliner on deck. You can definitely do the pomade version of it. Is great to fill in your hairline if you mess things up. So there's always a way to fix things. So here I'm using some Eben tint that I got from the beauty supply store. You guys know I have that Sally Hansen body foundation spray, which works well too, but it's a little bit more potent because it's the foundation, so it really gets it a bright color. So if I used the Sally Hansen, I would have re-washed my wig after I let it set for a couple of hours, but with this I was able to blow dry and move on. So I am going to go ahead and sew my straps on. Now, let me tell you something about these straps, because as you know, I got some from AliExpress, even though these ones came with the wig. But the material that they use on them, if you try to use your regular sewing needle, it's going to be hell on wheels to try and sew this on. So just get some regular thread and needle that you would use for your clothes and just sew it on that way. It was so much easier, guys, so much easier. So just save yourself that hassle if you're going to be using some bands like these. So I just blow dried the hair and I straightened it a little, just enough to kind of see what I was working with. My plan was to curl it anyways. So yeah, I'm just straightening it a little bit, kind of to just get to the roots and make it look nice. But we're going to definitely curl this. I really want to get a new hot comb. I don't know, for some reason I feel like mine's isn't like the best that I could have. It's just one that you just plug in and it has to get hot. I want one that you can actually adjust the temperature, and I feel like that would be a lot better. So right now I'm going to cut around my ears. This was a lot easier than it has been in the past for me, so I was really excited about that. I'm just snipping away at what I don't need, and I'm trying to keep as much hair as I can, because sometimes I used to cut it really wrong, and like basically my ear tabs would be just non-existent because I would mess it up that bad. But as you can see, I'm taking time trying to pull back the hair that I don't need and trying to cut at an angle downwards. Using the razor to cut your lace looks so fun and dandy in these videos, but oh my goodness, it doesn't get it as precise. And then I realized I should have used my scissors to cut the middle. That would have helped. But yeah, even after I used the razor, I had to go in with my scissors and cut off the rest of the pieces of lace because it left huge chunks. And I was like, now wait a minute, I didn't sign up for this. If you guys watch my how I laid my wig video, this is the same couple of steps. I'm just putting the mousse down, taking out my baby hairs, and of course I'm going to tie it down. Later, I ended up deciding to glue it down with my Ghost Bond glue. So I was like, you know what, let me just try to keep this wig on for a few days. And because I was going to work the next couple of days, I was like, let me just put on my glue. That way I won't have to take the wig off. Right, so this is what it was looking like at the end of day one after dyeing and plucking and laying. I decided by this point it was basically like 1 o'clock in the morning, so I decided to go to sleep. And here's me the next day after letting it sit with my scarf overnight. Look at my edges, y'all. Look at it. Amazing. I am using my curling iron, the barrel. Listen, when you want to curl your hair, the fastest way is actually to start in the front and work your way down. When you start from the back, you end up curling pieces that you really don't even need to curl unless you want your hair to really be curly, like from root to tip. It's not necessary. When you start from the top, you end up doing a lot less work and it makes it look so nice and uniform. So yeah, that's my trick of the day. That's it, guys. I just want to show you how voluminous she looks. Like, look at all that volume. I actually did not put any layers in this hair. This is just the natural layers from the wig and how it came, and it just looks really good. Despite this, even right here, I really wasn't caring for this wig. I was just like, wow, is this really the look that I was going for? I now really love it. Like, when it's in the side part, I can like see the love. I loved it here too. Like, it looks really nice. I think I'm just used to the really long hair, and I need to get used to like having a natural length as well, because this is a nice length to have, especially during like the spring going into the summer. So this is a wig I can wear throughout the summer. That is the end of the entire installment. I'm finito bonito. Child, I am tired. I had to take a nap. That's why you see me on my white tee, because I went to sleep last night. I'm not gonna even lie to you. I was tired. So, but you know, I put my do-rag on over this, and I put a little bit of extra mousse. I was like, let me let it really, because the thing with the mousse is you have to let it dry. Like, when you let it completely dry, then you're really gonna be laid and slayed. You know what I mean? So when I went to sleep, I took my do-rag off this morning, and I was set in motion, okay? When I say laid, I was like, wow, like, look at me go. Who is this? Who? Period. You know what I mean? Like, hold on, let me fix my phone, because... Anyway, so we're back. So yeah, going to sleep and letting it really dry overnight was just like top tier. If you don't have that type of time, you could always sit under a hooded dryer with your scarf on, or you could just let it air dry if you have a few hours, or you could just like blow dry it. But completely dry, letting it dry with the mousse is chef's kiss finish. Look at this jet black go. I can't believe like it actually worked. I was really nervous. The color came out so good. I'm so excited about the little watercolor method. Like I'll never go back. Why would I dye hair regularly when you could just dump it in some water and then boom, jet black. I was very nervous about getting dye on the actual lace, and I think what prevented it was definitely one, spraying it with the Got To Be and letting that dry. I did the 2 layers. Actually, I like really sprayed. So I was like, I do not want no dye on this lace, so I really sprayed it, and then I let it completely dry as well. But then I ended up like, you probably won't see it in the video, but I did end up dunking the whole thing. So I was like, I do not want my roots to be like light brown and then my hair be jet black. It's just gonna look really ridiculous. So I was like, if dye gets on there, I had like a backup plan to use some apple cider vinegar to get it off, which I watched another video on YouTube about that. So I had a backup plan. I didn't use like super boiling hot water. Like I used hot water from the sink, but I didn't use boiling hot water like off of the stove. My sink water gets really hot. Like it steams off, so I was able to use that. But if you do use water, like boiled water off of the stove, I would say let it cool off a little bit. I think that really helped. And also I didn't use all the dye. I saw people on YouTube using like 2 bottles of dye for 1 wig or a few bundles, and I was just like, I don't think I need all of that. Like I dyed 2 wigs with half a bottle of dye, so they both came out really good. So I think it was because I didn't use as much dye. The water wasn't super hot. It was kind of like more warm. And then of course the Got To Be spray, and I was able to dunk both wigs completely, and the lace did not get tinted black at all, so no dye on there. So yeah, I really love this process. This was actually like, if I wasn't filming this whole process, literally probably would have taken me an hour to do my hair. I just couldn't believe how quick it went even with me filming. I was just like, am I low-key a pro now? I'm emotional. If you guys have any questions from any of the process that I showed you, I may split this up into 2 parts. But if you guys have any questions, then please just leave a comment down below. If you have any tips or tricks for future endeavors, let me know as well. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.